Okay, BR Tidwell 55 back. I wanted to show you from immediately after first boot some of the things you'd have to do with Ubuntu uh, or at least how I would set it up. Unfortunately, it crashed as Record My Desktop was rendering over to was actually rendering the screen capture. So this is I've already changed a couple things, but I'm going to go back and show you what I've done. Now, on a stock Ubuntu installation, you obviously will not get the Firefly or the Serenity movie poster. The background of the taskbar over here will be an orange type color. Reason my screen looks like this is because, as I showed you in the last video, I'm sharing the home directory with the Linux Mint installation. My home directory lives on a different partition. So anyway, you've just installed it. If you, like me, have privacy concerns about the search function in the dash, then you can turn that off. You go to Settings, go over here to Security and Privacy, select the Search tab. Now, as you can see, I have already turned it off. This is on by default. You can leave it that way or you can turn it off. I chose to turn it off. Okay. If you're like me, you have kids, you have different computers, some of them are running Windows, you want to be able to share stuff, you want to share resources like printers, you're going to need to set up Samba. Samba, the server is not installed by default. To install that in Ubuntu, go over here to the Software Center. Now, I've already done this. Me doing this was actually captured in the video that crashed when the system crashed. Somebody was saying something about how stable Ubuntu was. Anyway, okay, come on. Alright. My personal opinion, Synaptic is so much faster and easier. Okay, do a search for Samba. Okay. What's going on here? Alright. You'll want to grab this package. I've already installed it. And a complaint I had about Samba in my last stab at Ubuntu was there wasn't a GUI for it. Well, there is. It's just not included by default, so you can grab that as well. So I installed Samba. I copied the configuration files over from my Linux Mint partition. I actually copied the smb.conf, and you can edit that file directly. Quickest way to do it is just open up a terminal, and do a sudo gedit or gedit /etc/smb.conf. Global. Okay, so work group, that's the name of your work group. Net BIOS name, that's how you identify the computer on the network. force user tag. You can leave that off if you want to. You define your shares at the bottom of the file. I have one share, I call it net share. There's the path, and it's allows guess, and you can read and write to it. Okay, so got that out of the way. Now I'm going to try to connect to a network printer. So I will go down here to printers. There are no printers configured yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a printer. This is a local multifunction device. It's plugged into the USB port on the computer. Frankly, it's old and it doesn't print as well as it used to anymore. I keep it around for the scanner function. Okay, network printer. Find a network printer. Windows printer via Samba. Okay, so far so good. There's the printer I'm looking for. Okay. I know it's in HP. I know it's a DeskJet D1420. So I'll scroll down to that. One reason why I like HP printers is Linux support for them in general is just really excellent. I'll just throw that out there. D1420, there it is. Don't have a duplexer on it. And looking across the room right now to see if it's printing out. It says it's processing. May take it a second. And alright, so yep, I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but it's printing. So we'll click OK. So now I have my basic services set up. Had to add a couple of things. So alright, so to answer some of my critics out there, I'm giving this an honest effort, but I really haven't seen anything here that changes any of my earlier criticisms. I think they have the privacy setting in there backwards. I think it should be turned off by default, not turned on. The machinations that I went through to connect to a shared printer, that's well, let me put it like this. They have this feature called personal file sharing that's built into the system, but the option to share files over the network are not included by default, and even when you download the packages that allow you to accomplish that, for instance Samba, it still doesn't show up here. So I think that is something that could be improved upon. As far as stability, the first time I attempted to render this video, the computer crashed. I don't know even if this is going to work or not once I stop the screen capture. So if you're going to argue that Ubuntu is the most stable Linux distro out there, I disagree. I don't think it's any more stable than anything else I've used. It's not less stable, I'm not saying that, but it's not the most stable. Not a fan of this Unity interface. You know, it's designed very subtly to make you use this search function to find your software. And by default, using this the system by default shares that information with third parties. It leaves your box. I think that's wrong. So there we go. This is my honest effort to try to get Ubuntu set up where I can use it in my environment. I may play around with it some more to see if I get over my distaste for the overall UI layout. Don't know if it's going to happen, but I'll give it the effort. So this is BR Tidwell 55. Thanks for watching.